Pete Moore, Gunmark TV. This is not so much a gun test as a saying goodbye. What I have here is my Mauser M03. I consider it one of the finest sporting rifles ever made. However, I heard last year that Mauser have discontinued the M03. However, they are prepared to issue spares and things. Now, so I go back from mine to 2007, so it's about 14, 15 years. And in that time I've had 30-06 barrels, 223 barrels, 6.5 Swedish barrels, number of different barrels, because it's a switch barrel gun. I loved it. I first went to Bulgaria with it in 30-06 and shot some nice big fallow. Then I decided for the UK 30-06 was a little bit too much, so I got a 6.5 Swedish barrel, which was pretty much my major barrel for it. And I shot that out after 12 years of use, very sad. I went to get another one from the importers, Blaser Group, and they said they've got spares but they don't have any barrels left because obviously the factory aren't making them anymore. I mean, Mauser's fine because they still do the M12 and the M18. Mauser still produce the classic M98 big game sort of safari rifle. It's just somehow this gun never really quite hit the popularity that you might have thought it would. It had a loyal following, including me and many other shooters, but it wasn't that many people compared to stuff like Blaser and Sauer. So it's gone. This is my baby. So it's been in a number of calibers. I thought I'd show it to it in my, well, most, should we say, aggressive caliber. It's 8.5 by 63, which essentially it's a 33806. As you can see, it's got like a push forward Ackley shoulder, and it can fire bullets from sort of 180 to 230 grains. This is a 230 grain Norma Oryx. My chosen load for wild boar and red is 185 grain Barnes TSX, or the new TSX with a ballistic tip, and that is, the gun's only doing about 2,750, 2,730 feet per second, but that generates a very healthy 3,000 foot-pounds plus. So as you can imagine, you hit anything with that, big or small, and it goes down. So this is the heavy barrel version. It's called a solid, and it's 19mm rather than 7mm. I asked for iron sights when I asked for this barrel because this is really purely a pig gun for me, though you could take it to Africa and knock over some big planes going with it. I asked for iron sights, and also the front sight be set back about ½ inch so I can fit a muzzle brake, because without a brake, should we say, it's a little bit lively. In terms of being radical, it's not really. It's got a standard detachable box magazine. Press the button, it comes out, you can lock it in place. The bolt has a decocker. What you do, you can press the button and it goes from safe, which is decocked, to fire. So again, there's no safety catch. It's like a Blaser. There's actually no safety catch in the gun. It's just when you don't want to shoot, you press the decocker and there's nothing cocked, nothing's going to work. It's a little bit slow to get into action, but it does make for a safe rifle. This is the PH stock. It's in like a sort of an olive drab green, which I quite like, and this is the extreme version with the rubber insert. And these gripping panels really do help. What I asked for when they got this stock is to put the Target cone cheek piece on it, which is adjustable for height, but also, as you can see, it's adjustable for horizontal as well, which means you can really get behind the scope, which is quite nice. Overall, it's just a super rifle. It really is. So when I took to Bulgaria for the first time, I had it in the carry case, so I took the scope off. And one thing I do say with any switch barrel rifle is that you need to check zero if the scopes come off or back on. No matter what people say, there's always a chance. And say it went from England to Bulgaria, bumped around a few trucks, we got to where we were going, and I got the chance to zero it, and it was set 1 inch high. I did it here before I went for the trip, and when I put this barrel back on, the scope back on, it's still shooting 1 inch high. So fine by me. So the rifle's gone. My 6.5 barrel is gone. which is sad. The 223 barrel, I don't use it that much. And the 8.5 barrel is really for pig shooting, large red deer, and if I went to Africa again, plains game. It's the end of an era really. There'll be not just me crying over it, quite a few people, because in its day it was a cracking rifle, it really was. So all I'm going to do with this thing is load up the rest of my ammo for it. With the new Barnes Tip TSX load, I'm getting 3/4 inch at 100 meters, which is good enough for the sort of use you use it, but this will reach out to 200-300 meters, not a problem. So what you're witnessing here is the end of an era for a number of shooters in the UK. I mean, the guns are out there, they'll still carry on, but just thought I'd show you what it can do with my snottiest load, which is a 230 grain Norma Oryx. So sit back and enjoy, because over the last 14 years I've certainly enjoyed this rifle, and it's got me an awful lot of game. Okay, there we are. If you like what you've seen, comment, support the site, tell your friends, and if you need to speak to me, as in my email, that's changed. I'm saying it in all my videos now, so pass it on. The old address that I used to quote was pete.moore@acel.co.uk is no longer there, it's been taken down. So if you need to drop me a line, ask for anything, or if I can do anything, get a gun in or a scope in, then feel free. It's now pmoore.shootingsports@gmail.com. Okay, so good shooting, and let's raise one for the MO3. We won't see its like again.